Welcome back, guys. I know this is an audit channel, but I'm going to post something a little bit different right now. Granted, it happened while I was doing an audit, so it applies. But I wanted to show you a place that I found in Jefferson, Texas that I almost didn't stop at. And then I talked myself into going back and asking if I could video there. And the gentleman who ran the place was very welcoming and said that was no problem.
The Museum of Measurement and Time. What? The Museum of Measurement and Time.
At this point, I had on my mask and my hat and the typical auditing gear. And so I didn't want to just barge in and ask him if I could film. I didn't know who was inside. And so I filmed a little bit on the outside, hoping that I might get to talk to someone, but nobody ever came out. So as I was walking off, I thought to myself, oh, I need to come back here and film this again. Maybe go inside and not have the mask, not have the hat, and just go in and talk to someone. Because this is a private business. And with auditing, you try to stay in the public spaces. As I was walking off, I thought, well, why come back if I'm already here? So I turned around and walked in and met probably the most interesting guy that I've met in a long time.
Man, I want to come back here one day when I'm not all geared up. You know what? I'm going to go back and do the time place. Sir, can I film in here? Can I film in here? Okay. I'm Tommy.
I'm Johnny Ingram. Good to meet you.
John Ingram, nice to meet you.
This is all a private collection, belongs to my wife and I.
Really?
Lived in Jefferson about 45 years, and all this was in our home. We decided to make a museum out of it and share it with the public.
Wow. Well, I'm
Made
gonna.
it primarily of 3 collections. My wife has salt and pepper shakers. I'm a civil engineer and land surveyor, so there's a lot of things that measure and calculate.
Are you an Aggie?
I'm an agent.
Gig 'em.
And then the clocks in this big room are all American. They represent the clock-making industry from 1700 to 1900. In the middle room, we've got calendar clocks. Again, they were all made in America. And they're all wind, they're not electricity at all. And in the back rooms are telephone systems and music and computers and European clocks.
Okay.
Look around. If you have a question, just let me know.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for your hospitality.
You bet.
Okay, so let's recap what that man just told us. He and his wife started this collection in the 1960s, and they kept it in their home for 3 decades. At this point, I was thinking it was just the room I was standing in, but I had no idea how large the collection is. He had antique surveying equipment. He had equipment to navigate using the sun, moon, and stars.
Wow.
He had maps from the 1800s, including a map of the city of Dallas in 1861.
This is amazing. This is an individual's private collection. And so they turned it into a museum. That is incredible.
I mean, look at all of this. He had a big bird clock. He even had an antique plumb bob collection.
Sundial.
What clock collection wouldn't be complete without a sundial? And the clocks you're about to see are from the late 1800s, early 1900s. They were gorgeous. The camera doesn't do them justice.
Ansonia clock?
I'm going to stop the voiceover here so you can hear the ticking. It was ticking through the entire place the entire time I was filming. I felt like I was in a Peter Pan movie. There were a lot of cool things that I saw in this place, but this is definitely one of them. It's called the Congreve clock. It was invented by a guy from France, and it has a metal plate at the bottom where a marble or a ball rolls back and forth. And that's the motion instead of the pendulum. It's very interesting. And in doing research about this, I found out that this guy also invented the military rocket, and he improved it so that it could travel up to 3,000 meters. And in the Star Spangled Banner, when you hear the rocket's red glare, that's actually talking about his rocket. There are also connections to SpaceX, but I'll let you look that up on Wikipedia. Anyway, back to the museum. I feel like Bubba Gump talking about Mr. Ingram's clock collection, because it's like he's got wristwatches and wall clocks and table clocks and kookaburra clocks and grandfather clocks. It just goes on and on and on. I filmed here for a good 45 minutes. I can't show you everything. It would just take up so much time, but I do want to point something out to you that kind of tugged at my heartstrings. I didn't find out until the end of my tour, but do you remember when he said this?
This is all a private collection, belongs to my wife and I. My wife has salt and pepper shakers.
And boy, did she ever. I've never seen anything like it. There's easily 3,000 salt shakers in her entire collection, and it filled probably 10 or 12 display cases. And if you have a random salt shaker, I'm sure he would love to have you mail that to him. That's not the part that tugged at my heartstrings. I found out at the end of the tour that sadly Mrs. Ingram passed away in 2024 from dementia, and he wrote 13 poems in her honor and turned it into a book, and he has it on display and you can go and read it. But I just thought how heartwarming it is that he still refers to the collection as both of theirs, and he refers to the salt and pepper collection in the present tense as his wife's. It hit me hard when I was there. I thought that was really wholesome. There's so much more that I could show you. I was there for almost an hour and I barely scratched the surface of the collection. He had calendar clocks, phonographs from the turn of the century, old phones that you see in movies. It was almost overwhelming trying to look at everything. If you spent 1 minute looking at each clock, you'd be there all day. And I know that this isn't your usual First Amendment audit video, but I reserve the right to make videos about interesting things I find along the way. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and if you are ever in Jefferson, be sure to go meet Mr. Ingram at the Museum of Time and Measurement. And I'm going to leave their Cashapp and Zelle in the comments. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't make anything off of this, but if you see this and you feel compelled to make a donation to the museum, that's your prerogative. So thank you for watching, and if you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe.